Some of the greatest lessons I ever learned in my life came from my elementary gymnasium. In grade 1, I got picked to play Joseph in the Christmas play. My best friend at the time, Lisa, got to be married. And like most elementary Christmas school plays, Baby Jesus was played by a very beautiful, cute, and adorable doll. So as Jesus, accepting the gifts from the wise men, I took these precious wrapped packages and placed them ever so carefully and gently on baby Jesus' head. And with each gift that I accepted and placed lovingly and gently on the head of my child, the audience would laugh. And they would laugh a little bit more as I, unaware, suffocated poor baby Jesus. But I liked the laughter. And that was one of the first lessons that I learned as a very small child on the stage of my elementary gymnasium. I love applause. The next lesson that I learned in the gymnasium came at the end of my grade 1 school year. Between the school play and that summer, my father had passed away. My father was a teacher in the Foothill School Division that I was going to school at. And so there was a close-knit brethren amongst the teachers. And I got a bit of a pass because of it. I didn't really have to apply myself the way that the other students did because I was grieving. So when it came to the physical fitness tests that they perform at the beginning of the summer every year, I did what I'd been doing for the last 4 months. And that was just enough. And I remember as we went through the process of the physical fitness test that they have you do, the running and the jumping and the rest of that, I would run and jump. But I didn't put my heart into it because I didn't need to. But here's the thing. Unlike grades and unlike subjective measurements, these all had quantitative metrics that needed to be accomplished. If you jumped 1.2 meters as a 6-year-old, you got gold. 1 meter, you got silver. 0.8 meters, you got bronze. And if you got a participation medal. So I, through my jumping, through my running, and I got bronze. Little badge, participation, bronze. And I remember seeing the one boy in our class who got excellence. I remember thinking, I want excellence. I can keep up with him. I can jump with him. And I started to realize that it was my own fault. I'd been skirting by and I needed to apply myself. The next lesson that I learned was in grade 2. Now I had started to apply myself. I'd learned my lesson. I needed to keep pace. I needed to find the person who excelled and I needed to keep pace with them. The problem was I was apparently a little dyslexic. L, left. So as I got through midway through my school year, my teacher, Mrs. McGuigan, who I hold near and dear to my heart to this day, put a sticker on my desk. And it had the alphabet and the numbers so that I would do my B's and my D's. I would do my P's correctly. I would get my L's correct. I wouldn't confuse 6 and 9. And I hated it. Because I was the only person in grade 2 who had the little sticker so that I could figure out my letters and my numbers. And it angered me so much. And I pleaded with her, please don't put that sticker on my desk. And she said, Tyler, you need this. No, I don't need it. I understand, but you don't. And she showed me all the work that I'd done over the last couple of months and all the places where I hadn't done it correctly. I was so mad at myself. But I had the sticker, and that's how it was for the rest of the school year. So, in our final assembly of the year, I was seated with all the rest of my friends, looking forward to the summer because I just wanted out of that desk with the stupid sticker. And Mrs. McGuigan walked up to the front and she said, and now for the award for the most improved, Sean Tyler Foley. And I looked, and my friends were pushing me. She just called your name, and I didn't know what to do. So I stood up and randomly walked over, and I looked up at her. She was beaming down at me, and I got this award, Sean Tyler Foley, most improved. And it meant something to me. That was something that I had accomplished, and it made the stupid sticker in the desk completely irrelevant because I had improved. So when I got into grade 3, I looked up at my new teacher, Miss Young, and I said, I want to win most improved this year. And she said, I don't award most improved. I only award excellence. Well, now I have to be excellent. Luckily, I learned in grade 1 that all I had to do was keep pace with the top student in the class, and I too would be the top student in the class. So me and Margaret became best friends. And I sat with her every day, every lunch hour, and we played, and I learned from her. I learned how to study. She was the first person who could do cursive, so I got to learn how to do cursive. She was the first person to start doing multiplication tables, so I learned from her how to do multiplication tables. And at the end of the year, we got to the assembly, and wouldn't you know it, top male student in the class. And I learned that as long as I was able to apply myself, I was going to be able to accomplish anything that I wanted to do. So in grade 6, I had a tight core group of friends, and we were all high achievers, and we were all sons of teachers. And I was able to see the structure of how it was that I was going to be able to accomplish the scholastic endeavors that I wanted. But scholastic endeavors weren't enough. If we were going to be the top students in the school, we also had to show leadership. We had to be empathetic with our other students. And that's why I joined the crossing guard, did extra studies, did extracurriculars, joined the theater. So at the end of the school year, grade 6 students are all lined up at the back. You go front to back. And I'm at the back of the gymnasium. Liam's on my right. David's on my left. And and we're watching, and we've got bets going. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's going to be the top student? Because we've been keeping pace with each other day after day after day after day. Our grades were all the same. There was very little common denominator. We all gave 100%. So who was going to be the top student in the school? I remember just wanting it, just praying. I loved my friends. And if they'd have won it, I would have been proud and I would have been supportive. But I wanted that. And so when Mr. Turner said, the top student of the school is Sean Tyler Foley, I stood up and I was proud. And I remember walking all the way around the gymnasium. And I remember seeing my mom sitting, and she had a small tear in her eye. She was proud. And then I walked past the empty chair. And I remember turning and looking at it, seeing Mom, and seeing the empty chair. And that empty chair was my father. I knew it was held for him. I don't know why the chair was really actually empty. But to me, my dad was there that day. And that's when I learned my greatest lesson of all. That no matter where I went, no matter what I did, he was going to be with me. And as long as I did my best, I would continue to make him proud.